Hello everybody. Today I want to make a video as a new or almost new for freshly baked YouTuber to have a comparison between shooting YouTube on a cell phone versus on GoPro. Now in this case it's something you could substitute GoPro for any other number of action cameras. And the reason why I want to make this video is because, ever since started doing YouTube, I kind of start paying attention to the stuff that other people use, other YouTubers. And a number of you that subscribe to my channel, and I've been following your channels as well. And I kind of try and see, like, what do you use? A lot of people do use cell phones, and there's definitely nothing wrong with it. But I also see a lot of folks using more of this, which, by the way, here we go. Hello. And also kind of to talk about the pros and the cons of each. And maybe you guys will find this helpful. Now, also, as part of the whole YouTube society, I also try, whoops, screensaver popped in, my lovely family there. Potentially somebody who is planning to start doing videos of their own, maybe you guys will find this helpful. So to start us off, using a cell phone, absolutely nothing wrong with it. Most cell phones have a great cameras already built in. Now when I started my channel, the first thing that I did was I popped in my, at that point, Samsung Galaxy Note 10, and I shot my first ever video, which I will be displaying there. I'm not one of those people who can quote all the different, stats. And by the way, here you can kind of see my setup right now. I know I'm jumping, but between the GoPro and the phone, I don't have any other apparatus to film this on. So I'm using this pretty ancient, but still, oldie but goodie Sony RX2. So basically what it is, it's, a camera that I've used for a while. Using a cell phone for the first video, it was fine. The audio was fine. Everything was fine. Keep in mind that I believe as of right now, YouTube still can't do like a 5K, content. So the best you can do is 4K, which actually the Galaxy Note 10, and then this one, which is the Note 20 Ultra something 5G, I think. Like you could shoot at 4K. There's nothing wrong with it. You can do the video thing, start recording, and then upload it, and everything is great. Now, here are some of the negatives. Now I'm gonna go through some of the negatives of using your cell phone. The negative of using your cell phone, number one, is it overheats. This was the number one thing that I had. I have a lot of stuff here, obviously, my kid and the cars and everything else. So the one thing that I noticed, overheating phone is a problem. I started doing my videos in April. I think that was the first time that I did. And I noticed very quickly, as soon as temperature started going up, I would get a message saying, like, after filming for about 10 minutes, they would say, oops, overheating, and then I would have to shut it off. So I don't know how to stop that. Can't really do much with it. So obviously in the beginning, I would just try to not shoot longer videos. Second thing, the phone will start getting destroyed very fast when you start using it as your daily driver. Now, I don't know if I can focus on here on this. Once again, keep in mind, this is an older camera that I'm filming this on, so I cannot necessarily tap the screen and focus. But, you got the little stuff from just the wear and tear. Obviously, a phone is a pretty expensive endeavor. So shooting on your phone, when you're carrying it, when, you increase your chances of dropping it, not a good situation to have. And by the way, I'm not trying to advertise Amazon Prime, but this is my setup. I got my driver's license and my credit card, and this is also my wallet. So luckily I have not dropped this phone yet, But when we talk about this, I will tell you a little bit about my experience with this as far as its durability. So there's that. Also, the file size. Now this phone does have expendable card, which I do have in there, but still you cannot put a lot of content in there. And by the way, you lose your phone or you break it or something, you automatically lose everything on the phone. Well, you can take out SD card, but still not a good situation to have. So it's like you're out a camera and you're out a phone. And also you can do stuff like time-lapse video, at least. You know, you can do it in when you're editing, but the bottom line is you can't do it on the phone itself. So that's some of the negatives. Let me also show you some of the stuff here too. You know, when filming, yeah, you do have a lot of controls here, but also some of the features that the Galaxy here, let me kind of do this, at least here that the Note provides, and this is something that you guys pointed out to me, you know, before. Let's move it here. When I first started using the phone, I would use this feature right up here to zoom out. Because as you can see, the default view is way too close. Like, I don't know how they calibrated it, but like the default, the 1X, it's really close. So as I was trying to film cars very close to, let's say, when they're parked each other, like I couldn't have the thing fit. So I would use here the half a zoom or half a zoom out. And this is what creates that fisheye effect. And I didn't realize that until I shot a bunch of content, and you cannot fix that. So it has a lot of these zoom features, which is great, but then they mess up, they distort the video. Now here also, it does have, at least this phone does have kind of like the horizon leveling or stabilizing effect, but it kills some of your zoom. So it zooms out a little bit, as you can see, that's the default view. But then you do lose that complete zoom out feature here. So there's some modification here. So yes, it works. Yes, it doesn't. You obviously also here you can shoot with flash. So that's nice that it has that and that it's built in. But overall, there are definitely some shortfalls here. But there's obviously some plus side. And the plus side here would be, well, number one, whatever you're trying to shoot, that's always with you. So if I wanted to just quickly pull out my phone, snap a few pictures, do a few videos, bam, it's right there. It's always with me. The quality is nice. Now this particular phone, and I know people use Apple products as well. I'm not against Apple, just I go with the Android. Obviously the camera array allows you to do a lot of different things. You have the flash. You can edit a lot of the stuff very well. You have the front. You have the rear. You see, you can see me right there and my camera. So yeah, it does allow, you know, a lot of flexibility. Also, which I'm going to talk about some of the negatives here, is that, you know, if you start shooting, you have the pause button. This is a godsend. I love this pause button. Only once did I create a file so large by using the pause button that it told me that it cannot be opened, and that was a bad day for me. I had to go back and reshoot whatever it is I was shooting. Besides that, yeah, having the pause button, that's a great effect where you shoot, you pause, you resume, and I don't know why this thing doesn't have it, but we will talk about it. Whoa, look at this. A phone, so a camera shooting a phone, shooting a GoPro that's shooting back. Wow, I think I'm going to use this as my thumbnail. And also you can do screen capture right there and then too. So that's a positive side. So obviously, look, we obviously know that we don't need like a heavy duty equipment here for YouTube, but there's some pros and cons there. So using your phone, nothing wrong with it. But let me talk about this a little bit. So why I went with a GoPro. So number one, a lot of people use GoPros. And I wanted to kind of explore the whole idea of having a dedicated camera, because what I'm shooting this on right here, I use this to take pictures, not for video. Very rare that I ever use this. So I wanted to go with something that would shoot good 4 and 5K video, which I could bring with me and kind of use this as my daily driver, so to speak. And what I ended up doing was trying to find, what the best camera was, and nowhere was this obvious that this was coming out right around this Christmas, New Year's type of deal. I think end of November. And everywhere I read, everything I looked at pointed me to GoPro. That's the number one. There were some other competitors, but obviously everything pointed GoPro, GoPro, GoPro. And I remember seeing a lot of videos shot with this, and I just went with GoPro. So that's the thing. Now, the negatives. So let's go with the negatives of GoPro. There is no, well, first of all, before I even go with the whole no zoom thing, to take pictures on this, it's pretty crappy. I think the sensor inside here is so small that it doesn't allow enough light. So any kind of picture, so yeah, I mean, it'll take a picture. So there you go. And I'm using the highest setting, so it takes the super picture. All right. So here, let me take a picture of a cat right there. So, and then we can view it. I think you view it swiping up. And there's a cat that was just passing by. I don't know how well it comes out. Oh, getting a text. Oh, well, let's talk about this. If you get a phone call, it gets interrupted unless you put it on a do not disturb. So here you go. I had my videos interrupted a couple times. So there's a little bonus thing for you. So this. It's pretty crappy camera. Now you can't zoom in on here. It's a touchscreen, but yeah, like unless you're shooting in super bright light, doesn't really do it for you, for me at least. Now it has a few features. So as a point and click camera, it's not that good. Now some of the other features, the bad stuff about it, yeah, the zoom. So let's talk about here. Let me click here for normal video, and I'm not gonna go into settings and setup. There's plenty of other videos out there for it. The zoom. That's it. 1.4 zoom. Yeah, the zoom, it's okay for fine tuning, like if you have it mounted somewhere. Whoops. But you see, okay. Yeah, this 1.4 zoom, it's pretty useless. The phone has great zoom, sometimes extreme, but yeah, this is it. So zoom doesn't really do it for you. Another thing, the touchscreen, although it's nice that it has a touchscreen, trying to hit a specific button on here is pretty bad. At least for me. I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with my fingers. Like you got to almost like jam your finger in there, so it's not very responsive, and the buttons are obviously very small. It's a very small screen to begin with. All right. The other thing on here that I found is that, yeah, you do need accessories, and I'm going to show you some of the accessories that I did get with this. Not a lot of accessories, but accessories nonetheless. Trying to hand hold this, like when I first got it, I was like, oh, with my style of filming, I'll just carry it like this. I'll just bring it with me and kind of not draw attention to myself. I don't need any accessories. I don't need a handle or anything else. No, not good. First of all, the microphone is right here, and there's a very good chance I'm going to be covering it up. So, and I think I got a cat hair on me. There you go. So there's that. Yeah, you need something to hold this thing on. Number two is this handle, this door here. I don't know if they're supposed to be this tight, but I'm specifically growing my fingernail, believe it or not, so I could open it. It is so freaking tight, and it's required for you to charge it, where you have to have this door open. It's nice and metal and protective, but oh my god, this thing is a freaking volt. So I'm having a hard time opening it. I was considering using like a screwdriver, but I obviously don't want to mess it up either, scratch it or anything. Yeah, this door is bad. Obviously the cost, it's 300 some bucks. Maybe you can find it on clearance or at some point, or on sale. I shouldn't say clearance, but yeah, obviously the cost of the phone is more, but it's kind of like you're buying the phone and you got the camera built in. Here it's a separate cost, but ultimately I do like it. So yeah, so that's the negative side. You need accessories. You gotta spend some money. This door is wrecking my fingernail really bad. No zoom. Yeah, like very basic. Like you don't really have a whole lot, and then the display does kind of suck. You know, you have a lot of different accessories. You do have this front screen, which I think I turned off by accident. Yeah. So the display is fine. Like you could see in the front, but that's kind of like a guidance display. Like you're not gonna really do anything, and it's not interactive. Yeah. So this is a good video camera. As point and click, which I was hoping it was gonna do. No, not good enough. I guess the last thing negative I'm going to talk about, you see, besides this display, the battery life. Now it's a pretty small battery in here. The battery lasts probably, I don't know, an hour. Like you can see just from the stuff that I did, this was at 100%. You guys can see that it's a 92%. And you know, I've barely been talking about it for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, maybe less, that it's been on. So yeah, not a very good battery life, but it's understandable because most of this compartment here is battery. So you're going to need to get spare batteries if you want to get any sort of life out of this thing. All right, here comes the positive thing. Number one, it's a very good camera. For video camera, right here, if you go to all your settings, you can go to 5K. If you can handle the file size, if you can handle the wait time to transfer all the material into your laptop or whatever, to edit it, yeah, it takes a long time to do. So I do this. This is my standard default setting, 4K, which is the minimum. Yeah, using a linear display. So there's a bunch of settings here you can set for a little bit different. So there's that. So if you can hear, the cat is going beast mode in the corner. It has very good horizon leveling, which, by the way, gets rid of any sort of zoom at all. So you can see I turned that on and the zoom thing got grayed out. So there's that. Yeah, so very good. So once you are, you know, shaking it, like you can even see here, like if I'm going to try to shake it, the phone, if you can like kind of focus here, doesn't really shake all that well. Like it takes a lot of thing to throw this thing out of whack. So that's a good thing. It is small, very nice, very light, and here's the thing, it's very durable. So when I was shooting this video, it was pretty windy. And the tripod, which I'm actually using right now to film this, it fell right with the GoPro as it was filming. And had it been the phone would have been shattered and destroyed. There's no way the phone would have survived. This thing, if you guys can see that, it barely took off just a little chunk of this rubberized coating, and it's fine. It kept shooting. It didn't stop. The battery didn't fall off. This door didn't open. Maybe that's why it's so tough on my fingernail. Nothing. Man, I was like, the glass didn't break. Nothing. It just, like, nothing at all. Just this little scuff mark. So yeah, it is tough. So I can vouch for that. And you see the battery dropped 2 more percentage points. We're now down to 90. Yeah. And another thing, so much variety of where you can mount this to do your time-lapse stuff. And I am using, I know it kind of goes in and out of focus, so I'm sorry. This is probably not the, you can see some of my pictures on the wall. So with all the time lapse and stuff where you can just mount it and kind of forget it's there until it's time to change the battery, you get all the freaking accessories. So let me start us off by first kind of going through, and then I think I'll be wrapping it up. This thing, obviously they make a lot of money off selling these things, but also all the accessories. So first and foremost, the accessory that I use just about every time is this. I know I made fun of it for its phallic shape, but you know, forgive my immaturity. Yeah, these little feet, you know, mounted here, and I use this grip, as much fun as I made of it, pretty much every time. So I use this. I do this every single time when I use it, because yeah, hand holding it does not work. And the set that I bought came with it, so that's good. That's number one. Number two is the tripod. The tripod that I'm using right now, I used this attachment, came with it, and when I originally got the tripod, I got it for this, actually, for cell phone mount, and I used it quite heavily in my first several months. And then this, which I didn't even know what it was for, but thankfully I set it aside. Yeah, I put it on, and the camera that I'm using right now just directly mounts to the screw here. But yeah, I use this thing all the time. Without it, tripod action does not happen. Memory cards, yeah, I've expanded a memory card since I got the 64, which also brings me to another point. The customer service of these folks is pretty good. I had a problem with the 64 gigabyte SD card, and that video, I started losing some of the video. So there's something wrong with it. Like I would start shooting, and then it would give me an error. So I contacted them. And they didn't give me a replacement, so I'm still saving it. And plus, there's a 32, I think, that's behind there. See, I kind of taped it. And they couldn't send me another one, but they sent me this, which is a head strap. So they sent this to me kind of like as a cancellation price. Now, I'm not going to be using this anytime soon, I think, but it's possible that maybe if I get into some specific video types, then I'll be mounting this thing on my head. And then it came with a little clip, which I think might be here, but it came with this, so it's like a set. And then I was like, what in the world is this? But this is designed to mount it to your your hat, like to your cap or to a belt or something. So it's a really tight clamp type of deal. So it would go like on your belt or on the visor of your hat or on the back, like on the metal clip of like your baseball cap. So yeah, so there's that weird accessory. I didn't ask for it, but they said, well, we can send you this because the price point is the same. Or they offered to send me another one of these, which I can't really dual wield GoPros. Other accessories, so more batteries. Yes, I did invest, and I got an extra clip here. More batteries. I got these aftermarket ones, this company Telesin, which I got it as a set with this multi-point charger. So this thing, the way it's designed to charge, here we go again, to charge or to transfer data, you have to plug it in here and then to your computer. Now, you can't really charge this thing outside unless you buy the GoPro one or you get one of these multi-ports. So I can charge 3 batteries in here. I have 4 batteries total, 1 in there, and that's how I can get about 4 hours of use, on 4 batteries. All right, the next thing, which the GoPro did come with, is this magnetic and clippity clip, which can also, I think, swivel right there. I've used that a couple times to get some shots. Obviously, the surface needs to be just right for this thing to fit or be magnetic, which is nice. I don't know if I would trust this to be on the outside of my car, at a higher speed, but from what I understand, it's pretty solid magnet, so this comes in handy. And this came with it too. I didn't buy it separate. I got this thing as a gift for New Year's, which is a mod, which basically turns your GoPro, gives you a higher level of microphone and also wind noise protection. Plus, it allows you to mount a couple different accessories right here. Basically, the door comes off and then this slides over it like this and kind of looks a little more beastly. Plus, it does have some other outputs. Actually 3. So 3mm jack, USB Type-C, and the old style, what is this, micro USB, whatever. The problem is you can't transfer data with this. So even if you plug in Type-C connector here, well, this thing is plugged into this, it doesn't work. It only works for charging. So for data transfer, you still have to take it out, and then you get the new door here with the mode and the shutter. So I use it. I do use it for better wind quality, and also just recently I did acquire this light that would go into here. So, and then this kind of gives me, it doesn't work as a flash, but more as a flashlight. A pretty bright one too, and then it can go into like this beast mode. Oh, whoops. No? Oh, maybe like this. I'm sorry, I remember. It would do some. Anyway, there's some sort of like an overboost where it will go into like a high power mode, but again, I don't know. Oh, okay, and it also does this like a strobe light. So, yeah, anyway, so there's that. So, because once again, the light thing is pretty bad on here. If you need way more light. Other stuff, yeah, just got this. It's an extra connector here. So, all the accessories, oh, almost forgot this, the suction cup mount. This is not GoPro, this is aftermarket. Pretty sturdy suction cup. You know, I put it on the wooden part of my town car, which I'll show you. And this is just enough for it to reach over and kind of film outside of the car. So I got this pretty cheap off of eBay. Nothing major. Suction cup is not for the outside of the car. It's gonna fall off, but for interior, it's pretty strong. So there's that. All right. So here you go, guys. I know it's a little lengthy video. I don't know how many of you want to know these things. There's plenty of other reviewers out there that do like specific stuff about, obviously, about cell phones, about GoPro, about everything in between. So if you are considering, you know, if you are a newer YouTuber, I would consider a designated camera over a cell phone. If anything, then you can use your cell phone as backup, and you can use this as your main driver. Way more sturdier, gives you more options. You can get some cool shots. Yeah, there's some things that kind of suck about it. Like I said, you know, battery seems to be going down pretty quickly. But other than that, yeah, I enjoy it. I hope you guys do as well. If this helps, you know, that would be great. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.